I honestly believe that it's the best time to be a MotoGP fan because every weekend there are like 10 or 12 guys in contention to stand on the podium and you never know who is going to win. My MotoGP fantasy is literally a disaster, but that is a talk for another day. In this video, let's talk about the upcoming German GP at Sachsenring. My name is Sankalp and this is your Racing News Fix. To keep things a bit structured, let's do it manufacturer wise. At the end of the video, I'll tell you my predictions for the German GP and you guys can tell me yours in the comment section. For obvious reasons, let's start with Honda. If you are a new MotoGP fan and it's not obvious to you why we are starting with Honda, for the last 7 years Marc Marquez has absolutely dominated Sachsenring on the MotoGP bike and has rightfully earned the title King of the Ring. But unless you have been living under a rock for last 11 months, you know where he stands, and this year might be the end of his winning streak, which including the lower categories has been going on since 2010. Even though he said that he felt like old Marc again, it will still be wishful thinking to have hopes of seeing him on the top step so soon. Now historically at this venue, more often than not, there has been another Honda on the podium alongside Marc, sometimes in the form of Dani Pedrosa and other times it has been Cal Crutchlow. So there's something about this track which suits the Honda. Given his run so far, some of us might not be able to picture pole on the podium with Honda yet, but this might be the end of a long wait for a podium for Taka Nakagami. For last year's rookie, this track is new because we didn't race here in 2020, and adding Alex Marquez's affinity to the gravel trap this year to that equation equals low expectation from the younger Marquez. Other than Honda, the most successful manufacturer at Sachsenring has been Yamaha. The championship leader would love to shake off the bad luck or whatever it was at the Catalan GP, and the YZR M1 underneath him has always gone very well around the ring. If Fabio can put the previous race weekend out of his mind, he might be the bookies' favourite to dethrone the wounded king. Paired with his new crew chief, Maverick Vinales would also be looking to get in the mix, and there are very good chances of him fighting for the podium places as well. Frankie on the second-hand Yamaha can only do so much with his hardware limitations, and Rossi fans might still be in for some disappointment unless the doctor found a miracle cure at the Barcelona test. Let's get the third Japanese factory also out of the way, Suzuki. After 5 continuous ducks, Alex Rins fans must keep their hopes under check as the Spaniard has just started to train after the injury and most probably will not be at his 100% this weekend. Moreover, I think he will be avoiding any unnecessary risk to break the non-scoring streak rather than going in all guns blazing. Joan Mir on the other hand might be the one to watch. Although he doesn't have much experience here with the big bikes, Suzuki's ability to turn might give him the edge on this tight and twisty venue. The last time we raced here, Alex Rins finished in P4, and the last time Joan took inspiration from Rins' P4 in 2019 was at Mugello, and we all know how that ended. If he does it again, we might see the reigning champion on the podium once again. From the manufacturer with least number of bikes on the grid to the one with the highest number of bikes on the grid, Ducati. The Desmo Medici has taken leaps forward, especially since 2019, so you never know how they'll go around this weekend. I mean, Jerez was supposed to be a non-Ducati track and they did a 1-2 there, so who knows what they are capable of. Pecco's ability to turn the Ducati is being looked at by everyone, so in my opinion, he will definitely be up there fighting for the podium. Jack can also not be ruled out, he is riding the high wave and the confidence is all-time high. The so-called dark horse of the championship, Johann Zarco, is sitting pretty, just 14 points behind the championship leader, and he also cannot be ruled out of getting at least in the mix for top 5 if not the podium. The 3 Ducati rookies will have the job well done if they rake in all the laps they can and bring home some decent championship points. Generally, I would have mentioned Jorge Martin separately from Sponsorama Duo and expected more from him, but he is still recovering from the pretty big blow he had at Portimao, and a top 10 for him would count as a solid result in my books. Onto the real dark horse of the season, KTM. We all know KTM's revolutionary step up came with the 2020 RC16, and that bike has not gone around Sachsenring circuit at all. That means no prior data, no base setups, and very little premier class experience with the exception of Danilo Petrucci. But KTM's secret weapon, Little Samurai Dani Pedrosa, has plenty of experience at this venue, and listening to his every word might propel the factory boys closer to the podium contention. I mean, look at the Catalan GP. Dani said go with hard tire, and Miguel did, and we know how that went. After the official announcement of Remy Gardner moving up to MotoGP next year, Tech 3 boys are under more pressure than ever to perform well. Danilo Petrucci is looking forward to Sunday at Sachsenring because the track has no long straights, which is where Petrucci suffers the most on the KTM, and the new chassis helps in corners, which is the basic nature of the track. Most likely heading to Moto2 next year, Iker Lecuona has also never been around this track on a MotoGP bike, and given the fierce competition, it would be a great result for him if he can crack his way into top 10 positions. And finally, arguably the best looking bike on the grid, Aprilia. Their hunt to find their way into the top 5 positions and eventually the podium with the completely redesigned RS GP21 will continue this time around as well. After missing the Barcelona test due to fluid retention and swelling in the operated arm, Aleix Espargaro will be looking forward to putting all that in the rearview mirror and getting on with the hunt for that top 5. It would be unrealistic to expect much from Lorenzo Savadori, and if he rides his way into top 12, it would be a job well done for him. Now going with the analysis, the prediction for top 6 in no particular order would be Fabio Quartararo, Pecco Bagnaia, Jack Miller, Johann Zarco, Joan Mir and Miguel Oliveira. But given how uncertain MotoGP has become in recent years, I like to go a bit wild with the predictions. So I'll do a couple of conservative ones and then a bold one. I think this weekend Vinales will return to the podium. I don't know if he will win or not, but I can definitely see him on the podium. Another podium position will be a Ducati. Now which Ducati, it's too hard to guess. So that's where I'll leave that. And the bold one, I feel somehow one of the Hondas will sneak up on the podium. This will most probably not come true, but I think I'm letting my inner Marquez fan come out for this prediction. If you made it till here, let me know by hitting the like button. And don't forget to leave your predictions of the German GP in the comment section below. As usual, for more such content about all things MotoGP, subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell. Here are 2 more videos which you might enjoy. My name is Sankalp and I'll be back with another video very soon.